When President Trump imposed tariffs as high as 145% on Chinese imports, the administration also said that smartphones, computers, computer chips, and other electronics coming into the U.S. would be exempt from the escalating tariffs. But we've learned since that may not last long.
Joining us to explain, ABC News White House correspondent Travers. Karen, we are very interested in chips here because Taiwan Semiconductor, the largest foreign business investment in American history, is building chip fabrication facilities in North Phoenix. So what do we know?
Yeah, this was really confusing over the weekend. I will caveat with that. There was a lot of whiplash. And just to catch everybody up, Friday night, late, there was a bulletin announcement from the Customs and Border Protection. It wasn't something that the White House put out in a press release. They kind of just put it out there, saying that some smartphones, computers, chips, and other electronics would be exempted from those stiff tariffs that had been put in place over the last 2 weeks on China, the 145% tariffs. And so there was framed as on Saturday as, this is a welcome relief for consumers who buy products that have these chips and all of these things there, because the tariffs were going to make products like that very expensive. Like, just for an example, one estimate says that the cost of a new iPhone 16 would go up $950 because of the 145% tariff.
Wow.
But then the administration said, not so fast. There really isn't a permanent exemption on this. We're just shifting tariffs on these goods into a different bucket, as the president put it. He really pushed back strongly on the idea that somebody was getting a reprieve. He said nobody's getting off the hook for unfair trade balances, especially not China. And the Commerce Secretary told ABC yesterday that this would just be temporary. These items would be subjected to semiconductor tariffs that would likely come in a month or two. Details not yet announced. Stay tuned. But again, they're doing all of this to try and bring production of those chips and products here to the United States, which, as you mentioned, is very critical to your state. But it's going to take a long time. This is not something that happens overnight.
Right. So it's not just computer chips. It's other electronics that are completed, like computers and televisions. Are they included in that list of okay.
I think that was included, and phones being, of course, the one that so many people are concerned about.
Well, especially me, because I need a new iPhone and I don't want to pay $900 more for it. I have an iPhone 11 that I've been babying along.
Yeah.
on a wink and a prayer.
I'm very impressed.
So we're told that maybe the president's going to get more specific today on all this?
Yeah. He said that. He said that he would have more details announced on Monday. I mean, I will, caveat that with the president has said that in the past, details to come next week. And then we didn't actually get details right away. It's not clear how fully baked this element of the shift is right now, because, as I noted, the Commerce Secretary said that these tariffs would be coming in a month or two. So perhaps we don't even get details for a month or two. And that's the uncertainty that investors, companies do not want to hear right now. When this exemption seemed to go into effect over the weekend, there was applauding of this, like, okay, good, now we can plan some things around this. Then when it was seemed to be pulled back, that creates more confusion. And now when you hear, well, it's just going to be tariffed in another way, classified differently, this is just difficult for businesses to plan.
All right, that is ABC News White House correspondent Travers joining us this morning from the West Wing. It is kind of interesting, though, because this might be one of those tariffs, if it does eventually get put in place, that might make some people in the Valley happy,
right?
Since we're going to be manufacturing a lot of chips here in the Valley, so within the confines of the United States. But of course, there's also concerns about the base materials to build those. Are those going to be hit with tariffs?
Well, and that's the thing. Trying to figure out what goes into some of the things that we actually do make here, but that have to come from out of the country. It's like, wait a minute, I'm not really sure what price is going up.
Right.
Maybe lots and maybe not so many. It's just hard to figure out.
Yeah.
That's the problem. People are hiding their Teslas. for two reasons. One, embarrassment among their liberal friends, and two, protecting their Teslas from being taken out via vandalism. Oh, joy. Joining us to explain it, ABC News correspondent Jim Ryan.
So, Jim, before you tell us what Tesla owners are doing to hide the fact that they're Tesla owners, please tell us about what state lawmakers in some places are trying to do to protect Teslas from harm.
Well, they're actually going in two different directions. New York State, for example, there's a state senator there who's introduced legislation which would increase the penalties for people who commit acts of vandalism in the name of political expression. So in other words, if you key a Tesla because you're mad at Elon Musk, that would raise the penalty. It would make it a Class E felony in New York State. If you're just keying a car to be ornery, that's still just plain old vandalism. So it would increase the chances of a felony conviction if you do so out of political statement. So we'll see where that goes. But at the same time, some of that state senator's colleagues are introducing legislation which would have New York State divesting the pension plan from Tesla so that you're not invested in that, and also limiting Tesla dealerships in New York State. So they're kind of going in both directions there in New York.
Wow.
Well, this is a mess. All right.
It is.
What are Tesla owners doing to try to hide their identity from protesters who are keying their cars?
Well, for one thing, they're taking off that distinctive T logo, the Tesla badges that you see on Teslas, and in some cases replacing them with other badges, the M for Mazda or the H in Honda or the linked rings of Audi. And if you take the badges off a Tesla, it's kind of a plain Jane looking car, right? It's not terribly distinctive, except the Cybertruck. So people with Cybertrucks, you can't mistake that as a Tesla Cybertruck. So
you could spray paint Pontiac Aztec on it because it's kind of what it looks like. I'm not sure anybody would know.
Oh my God!
Somebody had put a Toyota across the back of it, and I don't think they're fooling anybody. But I saw a Cybertruck. And clearly, the owner was feeling some buyer's regret after what's happened with Elon Musk and Doge. So they put a sticker on the back of it. It has the word Elon. It's in a red circle with a slash through it. So the driver is expressing disdain with Elon Musk while still driving a Tesla.
Well, so yeah, two reasons. Protecting their EV's identity from people who would want to key their car or maybe light it on fire, which we've seen that case, and also those who are now looking down their nose at someone who drives a car made by Elon Musk. But I gotta say, my kids want to attack the truck because they hate the looks of it. They hate that thing.
It's so ugly.
It is kind of like, it looks like a barbecue grill on wheels to me.
John Oliver said something great on This Week Tonight, last week. Whatever his show is, he says it looks like every child's first drawing of a car.
It kind of does.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so good, Jim.
But at the same time, so while you might put a sticker on your car, on your Tesla that says, I bought this before Elon went crazy. That's one option. On the same Etsy page, you can buy a sticker that says Pro Elon Tesla Club. Or still driving Tesla, still Team Elon. So,
out of curiosity, if somebody firebombs your Tesla, does insurance cover that?
I would imagine. Yeah, right.
Well, so if you put a Pro Elon on there, you're basically just asking, hey.
Do you need a firebombing writer? I don't know. Thanks a lot. That is ABC News correspondent Jim Ryan.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.